กรณีอุ้มบุญกำลังเกิดคำถามมากมายตามมานะคะทั้งข้อดีและข้อเสียข้อดีก็คือเทคโนโลยีในการเจริญพันธุ์ได้ช่วยให้คู่สามีภรรยาที่ไม่สามารถจะมีบุตรได้ก็สามารถที่จะสร้างครอบครัวได้นะคะแต่อีกด้านหนึ่งกรณีอุ้มบุญก็ทำให้เกิดปัญหาตามมาในหลายๆเรื่องและเกิดข้อวิพากษ์วิจารณ์ไม่ว่าจะเป็นกรณีน้องแกมมี่หรือว่าผู้ชายชาวญี่ปุ่นชิเกตะวัย 24 ปีลูกชายมหาเศรษฐีแห่งประเทศญี่ปุ่นที่มาว่าจ้างผู้หญิงไทยให้อุ้มบุญทำให้เกิดคำถามตามมาถึงกรณีการอุ้มบุญแง่มุมจริยธรรมคุณธรรมเรื่องของเทคโนโลยีกับความหมายของชีวิตครอบครัวและบทบาทผู้หญิงกับความเป็นแม่ค่ะวันนี้ตอบโจทย์ดิฉันคุยกับคุณมาเรียมคูคูนาชวิลลี่เจ้าของคลินิก New Life Global Network แห่งประเทศจอร์เจียนะคะซึ่งเป็นหนึ่งในคลินิกที่ได้ให้บริการการทำอุ้มบุญให้กับชิเกตะด้วยค่ะ Thank you Mariam for joining me. People in Thailand are very much interested in Chiketa's case. When did you first get in touch with him?
He got first in touch in 2012. So he contacted our Thai office and he requested two surrogate mothers in the beginning, and we didn't find out anything strange because majority of intended parents they request two surrogate mothers at a time in order to make sure success at least in one surrogate mother. Shigeta's case was successful. Both the surrogate mothers got pregnant right away, and then I saw a report in Georgia. I received a report from Thailand and I saw his age, and we're doing this since 2000.
At that time he must be 22 years old.
Yes, he was 22 years old and we never had such young intended parents, so I got a little bit suspicious. I had no question because I'm personally not in touch with intended parents, but local branches. Team is aware that if there is something suspicious they are usually telling, but in the case of Shigeta case, Thai manager didn't find out anything suspicious.
Normally, what's the age of people who want to have surrogate service?
Normally from 35, 38, 40, 45.
When he approached you in 2012, he was 22 years old?
Yes, he was 22 years old.
Did you meet him in person?
No, I have never met him in person, but our representative from head office met him.
What did he want when he first met your official, your staff?
When he requested more surrogate mothers and we got suspicious about and found out this request a little bit unusual because usually intended parents do not want more than one or two, maximum 3 babies. So when he told our office here in Thailand that he wanted 10 babies, we found that it's very strange. So on another hand, we are also thinking about the patient's right and intended parents, so we wanted to make sure that there is nothing wrong and that he is respected from our side. So for this reason we sent a manager from Georgia to here. He met Shigeta lawyer and Shigeta, and they told there was nothing strange in it because legally anybody has right to have as many babies as somebody wants.
Did you get this kind of request before that someone would like to have 10 children, 10 babies?
No, never.
But your staff say it's not unusual in this case?
No, it was unusual, but in the beginning he never requested that he wanted 10 to 15 babies. He just approached, he was very reserved person, he was not talking a lot. Our communication was via emails, so he told he wanted baby, that's all. First, we were not aware that he wanted many babies. The way how we found out was that his secretary sent us email by mistake, but this email was not supposed to be sent to us but to another clinic, and it turned out that at a time when he had pregnant surrogate mothers with us, he also already had pregnant surrogate mothers in another clinic, and this is how we found out about his will of having multiple babies.
That was on top of the 10 requested babies he wanted to have?
Yes, because initially he did not disclose his will. When we approached him and told that we learned that he was also had pregnant surrogate mothers in another clinic, he admitted and he told yes, he wanted many babies.
Did you ask him why?
Yes, our manager from Georgia asked, and he told that he wanted to have big family, and in life this is the best thing, to have big family and leave a lot of babies in the world. So it was some philosophical approach.
But don't you think it's quite strange for someone to want to have at least 10 babies or more than 10
You know,
babies?
In the world, everything what is in minority is considered strange. No one in the world is willing to have so many babies, so thus we assume this is strange, this is unusual. But on the legal point of view, we clearly know that anyone can have as many babies as possible. But here I think problem is more ethical.
You just said he explained in philosophical way.
Yes.
What is his explanation?
His explanation was that he wanted a big family, and there is nothing best in the world than to leave many babies after your death and to leave very big family.
But in terms of ethical issue, it has been raised up a lot, whether it's really appropriate to allow someone or to provide service for someone,
Yes.
and to want to have like 10 babies, 100 or even thousands.
Yes, it's really it's really big ethical issue. So when I wrote him in 2013, I warned him. I told that this will happen, it will explode, you are taking babies at risk. It will got very big media attention, it will got attention from authorities. So I explained him I am in this sphere since a long time, and I know that things cannot be done this way, but he did not listen.
You got requests in 2012, and all along 1 year, did you keep close contact with him?
No, I did not keep contact. I was keeping very close eye on his case. As soon as I've learned about him, I got suspicious. So I was trying every month to gather more and more information because I was worried about baby's well-being. Later on, I've learned that he was from very wealthy family, so it mollified me a little bit because I assumed there might not be any criminal or trafficking. But in the beginning, when I've learned about him, I was very worried. Maybe there was trafficking involved, maybe some criminal. No, so that's why I always kept an eye on this case, and I always kept sending emails to police and to embassies and to media as well.
Did you try to stop him in between, or try to tell him?
I tried to stop him via help of Interpol and police and embassy, but things took too long, and until people got interested in this case, he already managed to have 15 babies.
In person, you never met him?
No.
How does your staff explain about him, his character?
Our former Thai employee says that he is a very decent person. He still very firmly believes that he really wants a big family, and that all his intention is only good and positive. So she describes him as a very positive person.
What do you think you have learned from the case of Chiketa?
I don't have a feeling that everything whatever I could have done, I did not do. I think that we stopped due time, we informed everybody due time about this, and we warned police and everything. So from legal or ethical point of side of view, what I've learned is that doctors must be very careful, especially when they are working towards third-party reproductive and surrogacy and in such fields. This is very sensitive issues related to babies and newborns, so everybody must be very careful. And I think the Chiketa case must be a good lesson for every IVF doctor.
All in all, how many surrogate babies from Chiketa were born from your clinic, from your
Three,
center?
three from two surrogate mothers.
Do you think surrogacy is good or bad?
I think surrogacy is good, and it's really very good. People who does not need surrogacy and who delivers baby naturally, some such type of people do not understand. But I don't think see anything wrong when people are helping each other.
But so far, we have got some cases that perhaps the baby could be abandoned, like the case of Gammy.
You know, things get very scandalous when it is about surrogacy. But there are a lot of women. They are delivering their own children, and they are leaving them near trash can. Because of the baby Gammy case, we cannot conclude that surrogacy is bad. Then with same logic we can conclude that motherhood is bad, because some women are leaving their babies in the street.
You yourself have done surrogacy many times, and you are triplet babies
Yes, I
were
have.
born out of surrogacy. How's your relations with your baby?
I was trying for 5 years desperately. I wanted to carry my babies myself, and I think every woman wants this, but it did not work out. Then I approached surrogate mothers for help. So two surrogate mothers delivered my babies, and I was very happy.
How old are they now, your babies?
Now they are 3 years old.
What's the bond of you to your surrogate babies? Do you feel different from the bond between you and your mother?
Yes, we are very bond with each other, because I think motherhood or parenting is not about who delivers the baby. Motherhood is a social role, and sometimes some people takes this role and responsibility, and others do not. Of course, surrogacy is not choice. If I had choice, I would prefer to deliver babies myself. I'm very grateful of my surrogate mothers. Sometimes I think it's very good that babies were born through surrogacy, but still unconsciously, when I see in the movie, woman delivers a baby, and I see delivery process, I still have tears on my eyes, because everybody wants to deliver his own babies herself.
How do you manage your relations or your talk with surrogate mother? Do you still keeping in touch with them?
Yes, I still have a relationship with them, and I had very good relationship with them, and I sent one surrogate mother in Europe, and she has now a job, so we have very good relationship with each other.
How do you see the meaning of motherhood? Because it's really new world of new technology, very advanced technology, that the meaning of family is changing. The meaning of mother is also changing.
One is person, and around the person there are a lot of social roles. So role of wife, role of mother, role of co-worker. Some people do not take this role and cannot be good mothers. I think it's not about biology, it's about feelings of motherhood.
You have this kind of service in 8 countries of New Life Global Network.
Yes.
How's the situation of each country in terms of law?
In terms of law, in any country where we are operating, it's legal. In some countries,
Including Thailand.
In Thailand, it's not regulated yet by law. In other countries, there is clear legislation, so it allows surrogacy. In most of the countries, they allow surrogacy for single women, for single men, for married couple, for everybody. So in some countries it's totally banned. But in those countries where we are operating, surrogacy is legal.
The country that you are now operating, including Mexico and US?
Yes.
Can you just give me example, how is it different?
In Thailand, it's not. There is no law in Thailand. In United States, surrogacy is very clear and defined by law. It's legal for gay parents, for single parents, for married couple. Same is in Mexico.
But the cost, is it so much different between Mexico, the US, Thailand and Eastern Europe?
It's different because in the United States, for example, costs are too high, 100,000 until 200,000 US dollar surrogacy. In Mexico, prices are more or less same than in Thailand. Also, some legislative procedures are different. For example, in Mexico, you can obtain birth certificate in public registry in 1 day. In the United States, as soon as surrogate mother gets pregnant, you have to notify court. So in Georgia also baby certificate is issued in 1 day and parents can live with baby as soon as they wish. In Ukraine, for example, there is age restriction. If woman is more than 48 years old, she cannot have surrogacy. So there are slight differences in law.
Do you think the law should be strengthened or could be sharpening up, like the case of Thailand, with so many
I
scandals
think
going
law
on?
must be liberal towards surrogacy, because if law is not liberal, it makes it enforces on citizens to get criminalized. What I mean is that, for example, European countries ban surrogacy and they even have bigger fears if someone makes surrogacy, but still European citizens travel abroad for surrogacy. So they still do things against their government and against their law. In India, surrogacy for single parents was banned. And after this, Indian surrogate mothers, a lot of them start traveling to neighboring countries for surrogacy. So they still are doing. Business was killed in India. A lot of foreign IVF clinics were closed. And Indian women still doing this in neighboring countries. So I don't see any point from government side why this must be restricted.
Do you mean to be liberal is to be legalized?
Is to be legalized, law must be clear, so government and intended parents and surrogate mothers all will be on safe side.
What do you like to reckon to the law of Thailand, because it's under revision?
I think it must allow surrogacy for everybody, but there must be clear regulations, maybe some age limitations, or maybe age limits for surrogate mothers. Also, it's very important to be written how many times surrogate mother can be surrogate, because some women deliver baby in one clinic, then go and they are surrogate mothers in another clinic, then in third clinic. It's not good for their health. So maybe there must be written in law that surrogate mother can be surrogate only 2 times and not more. Such things. So there must be some regulative issues.
Is it always the case that surrogate mothers tend to be women from poor families or poor backgrounds?
Yes, usually majority of surrogate mothers, they are doing this for income.
In the case of Thailand, the law is to state that surrogate women should be in the same family. Do you think that would be appropriate?
It will be impossible. It means that surrogacy will be banned, because no one from family members will be willing to carry another person's baby or family member's baby for free. So experience already shows that in some European countries, for example in Holland, in Belgium, in United Kingdom, surrogacy is allowed, but commercial surrogacy is not allowed, and such type of regulations. Accordingly, absolutely no one in Holland or Belgium or United Kingdom is willing to do surrogacy. So it will same will happen.
Should the law specify that surrogacy should be allowed, but commercial surrogacy should be banned?
No, there is no difference between a ban and between banning of commercial surrogacy, because without allowing intended parents to give compensation to surrogate mothers, no one is willing to become surrogate mother. And it means that surrogacy will actually be banned.
Have you heard of the situation in Thailand that a village in a province called Phetchabun, that's the whole village, that women in that village mostly have become surrogate mothers?
No, I have not heard about this village.
Women do not have enough income, so they have to decide to become surrogate mothers.
What I've learned is that sometimes surrogate mothers, they connect each other because they are aware of each other from clinics, from appointments, and then they took rent together, so they are living like in clusters and together. So this might be a case. Also in India, poor women are living in different in other areas, so there are a lot of surrogate mothers there. And what you are asking, so some people are saying that this is exploitation of women in exchange of money, but all of us receive money and receive salaries and compensation for our work, and we also exploitate our bodies. For example, if you see World Health Organization reports, you will see there that even just only in the United States, just only from work injury, every month 100,000 people dies. And a lot of people are affected with cancer and life-threatening diseases, life-threatening professional diseases. But still people, they are exploiting their bodies because it's their job. I don't think that surrogacy causes the same type of mobility. Mobility means illness or mortality. I don't think this is logical.
You don't see any dark side of surrogacy?
No, I don't see. If this is done ethically, and if we make sure that women does not do it a lot of times, because pregnancy cannot be done a lot of times because it exhausts the body. So if it is done properly, we cannot say that this is exploitation, because we are all exploited with work. So this is also work.
How many years have you been in this business of surrogacy?
Since 2008.
From 2008, has the business grown up?
Yes, I think it was always grown up. It was just about our awareness. In terms of our business, yes, it's growing, but I think there was always big demand in surrogacy.
And in Thailand, with this scandal coming up, what's the potential of Thailand being global surrogacy hub?
I don't think that Thailand solely will be global surrogacy hub, because we had in Georgia, we have same number, even more, of international patients for surrogacy as we had in Thailand. Same applies to Mexico, same applies to India. So people from United States, they prefer to go to Mexico for surrogacy because it's nearby to them. People from Nepal, for example, they prefer to go to for surrogacy to India. Japanese and Chinese people prefer to come to Thailand, also Australians. European people, Georgia and Ukraine is more nearby to them, and also Greek Cyprus, who does surrogacy as well. So I think Thailand cannot become the only hub for surrogacy, because there are in other locations as well.
How do you see the future of surrogacy from this point on?
I think and I'm sure it will be always controversies around this, because we know other ethical problems such as euthanasia or abortion. So society have not solved this problem since very long time. I think it will be same in case of surrogacy, because there will be always people against and defenders.
But in your recent future, you plan to stay in this business? for quite some time.
Yes, in Thailand we definitely plan to stay because we also have IVF clinic here with Estonian doctors and partners. So we are going to have local patients here, and we are already having. Even if surrogacy will be banned, we will still continue making IVF procedures for local patients.
To what extent has your network has something to do with Dr. Pisit network in Thailand?
In Thailand, we worked with Dr. Pisit, and our cases was done at Dr. Pisit clinic. He's a good doctor. His success rate was very good.
How do you see the future of society if in the future most of the babies or most of children walking around on the street are from surrogate mothers?
This is why where the world must be united and laws must be united. So I definitely dislike the idea when someone wants to have baby because to take care of her body and not to gain weight or such issues. So it will be better if surrogacy is either for medical reason or someone wants family, is not married, and wants to complete his or her family.
Thank you very much, Mariam.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. เป็นเสียงสะท้อนจากคุณมาเรียม คูคูนาชวิลลี่เจ้าของ New Life Global Network แห่งประเทศจอร์เจียนะคะที่ให้บริการใน 8 ประเทศทั่วโลกค่ะ ด้านหนึ่งคุณมาเรียมก็เห็นโอกาสที่เกิดขึ้นนะคะจากการทำอุ้มบุญหรือว่าจ้างให้ผู้หญิงตั้งครรภ์แทนสำหรับแง่มุมที่เป็นคำถามก็คงจะต้องเป็นเรื่องที่สังคมจะต้องวิพากษ์วิจารณ์และดูถึงความเหมาะสมกันต่อไปนะคะกับกรณีที่เกี่ยวเนื่องกับคุณชิเกตะผู้ชายญี่ปุ่นวัย 24 ปีสำหรับแง่มุมต่างๆของอุ้มบุญก็คงจะเป็นคำถามถึงอนาคตนะคะว่าความสัมพันธ์ของครอบครัวความสัมพันธ์ของชีวิตผู้คนกับเทคโนโลยีจะทำให้สังคมโดยรวมเปลี่ยนแปลงไปอย่างไรค่ะและทั้งหมดคือตอบโจทย์และที่นี่ไทย PBS สำหรับคืนนี้ดิฉันณัฐฐา โกมลวาทินสวัสดีค่ะ